You are listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust that you will consider this your vitamin or supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you subscribe, wherever you receive podcasts from, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom? Tell your friends and neighbors about it, as well as leave a rating and a brief written review. Thank you very much. Today I want to talk about the power of being present. We live such distracted lives that focus and concentration and working on what we are supposed to be working on today can become exceedingly difficult. Now, there are only 2 days in a year that you can do nothing on. And let me tell you what those 2 days. Now, you're going to think it's Christmas and Thanksgiving or your birthday, but it's not. The 2 days every year that you can do nothing about are yesterday and tomorrow. You can't do nothing on them. You can't change yesterday. It's already happened. And the best way to make some changes in the future is to do the things that you're supposed to do today. I was on a cruise ship many months ago now, and there was a young couple with a little boy who happened to be seated at the dining room table in the evenings right across from us. So you kind of get used to seeing the same people. Now, they were young, and so I'm assuming it was somewhat a sacrifice for them to pay the price to be on that cruise ship with their little boy. And every night at dinner, both the husband and the wife and the little boy had some sort of an electronic gadget. The husband and wife spent the entire evening meal on their phone, either texting or reading or laughing, and periodically they would say to the other one, "Read this, look at this." And I don't even know how they enjoyed their meal, let alone each other. And I thought, you could have stayed at home and played all evening on your telephone. There is just something right now, nearly an epidemic, that we want to be somewhere else rather than where we are at the moment. It was Abraham Maslow that said the ability to be and to live in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness. You need to be where you are right now. You'll have plenty of time later to be somewhere else to take care of something else. So I want to give you, maybe 9 to 10 ways that I think will help you and I to be present. Now, the first one's going to sound rather simple, but the first one is to smile. I have discovered that if I just smile at people, it forces me to be in the present. As someone who has spent a lifetime in front of people speaking, it is amazing, and I know that I do the same thing when I'm not the one speaking and I'm the one listening. Our facial expressions sort of tell that we're really not living in the present. I know there's a lot on your mind. I know there's a lot of things happening for most of our lives. But one of the best ways to show a person that you're visiting with, to show a person who is pouring out their heart to you that you're with them and you're still in the present, is to smile. Now, the second one that I want to share with you about the power of being present is to live in the present. You're going to have to get over your past hurts and disappointments and even your own failures, as well as the times that others have failed you. Forgiveness is one of the greatest tools to living in the present. It helps you to let go of the past. But here's what happens. Someone does something to us that has so deeply grieved us and disappointed us. We want them to suffer like we're suffering. And so we want revenge. We want to have the record righted. And it's if we hold this grudge, we feel like the lack of forgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. When you forgive someone, there's this idea that if I just forgive them, I'll let them off the hook and what they did was wrong and that's not right. But I'm here to tell you that when you forgive, you are setting a prisoner free, and the prisoner is yourself. And besides all of the other benefits that forgiving will do, it helps you to be able to live in the present. You're not going through all of life hurt, anxious, angry, upset. And so, two of the best ways to focus yourself in the present is to begin to smile and to forgive past hurts. Just learn to be happy in the moment, and that'll be enough. Each moment is all we need, so said Mother Teresa. Live in the moment. Today is all we have. None of us know if we'll be here tomorrow, but today is what we have. So we need to live in the moment of today. Let me give you a third and go in a whole different direction of how to be present. Declutter your office, declutter your home, declutter your basement, declutter your garage. I think oftentimes it is the overwhelm of clutter and disorganization that keeps us from being in the present. You sit down and you start on a project and you look at all of the junk and all, pardon me for calling your stuff junk, and all of the things all around you, and it becomes a distraction. My wife and I right now are about hip deep in decluttering. We know that in 6 years from now, we'll sail off into the sunset to do something else. And you better get ready for that. And one of the things is to declutter. We're decluttering our closets, decluttering our garage, decluttering our house so that it is a clean, safe environment and a distraction free. So I highly recommend you start decluttering. That will help you to live in the present. Number 4 is single task. If you've listened to this podcast, you understand that I, like many, believe that multitasking is a myth. And when you try to multitask, again, you get distracted and you're not amplifying the present moment that you're in and really making significant project on anything. Single task. Put it on the clock, use a timer, get the task done, move to the next one. It will help you to live in the present. Number 5, the 5th area that will help you to be present wherever you are is to develop a morning and evening routine. I've talked about these before. Matter of fact, the next episode is going to be about a morning routine. They're vitally important. You need to have a routine. It just helps you. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's why I'm going to do it. Number 6, the 6th thing that helps you live in the present, and this is one I was a little late in understanding its significance because it's something that does not come naturally for me, and that is journaling. Now, there are different ways of journaling. There are gratitude journals. There are some people who keep a journal like a diary, and there's an aspect of journaling of diary type entries that I do. But I highly recommend using the journal as a place to express all that's going on in your life. And so maybe one of the first things to help you to get into the present is to have a journal dumping of your mind and heart, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you need to get done, what things you need to do. Journaling is a wonderful, wonderful tool in order to get that done. The next one would be develop the skill of listening. This is another thing that does not come naturally for me. I'm a talker, not a listener. And yet I have to confess today that I rarely ever learn anything when I'm talking, but I learn a whole lot when I'm listening. So I have tried to develop little techniques, little things, make eye contact, look at the person, try to focus yourself so your mind doesn't wander off into what am I going to do next, or even what I did for so much of my life, which made me a poor listener, was that I was always, while they were talking, formulating my brilliant answer that I was going to give them. Even if they weren't asking me a question, I still had the answers. Right now, I'm trying desperately at this stage of my life to develop the skills of being a good listener. The ninth one is to reduce distractions. Unplug some things. Turn some of your notification dings and pings off. Um, while you're working on particular projects, you may need to have what I call a sequestering center, maybe a different place where you work than normal, where it's quiet and you can focus and you're able to live in the present and do the things you need to do. When you make up your mind, you're going to reduce the distractions. The other thing, which sounds like developing a morning and evening routine, is develop some other rituals or habits or routines that help you to be in the present. One of those is return your phone calls in blocks of time or return emails. Because what happens is if you allow voicemails to go unresponded to, if you allow emails to go unresponded to, you're always trying to play catch up. So have a ritual, have a routine that this many times a day I respond to email or I write emails. This many times a day in these blocks I return phone calls. There are little kind of mindless things that I have to do as far as organizing things. I plan a block of time when I'm more tired and I don't have to concentrate like you do in a meeting or in an interview with someone. So develop habits, rituals, routines, whatever you'd like to call them, that will help you get done in the present what you need to do. One of the greatest things that I have found, it's number 11 actually, of ways to be present is just periodically just unplug from the rat race. Just unplug from what you do every day. One of the greatest things of having a change in your schedule is just it causes you to kind of reevaluate where you are. I just came from a meeting where I heard a gentleman talking about Sabbath and rest and the fact that we love to talk about how busy we are, but some of the best things we can do is to take a nap, to unplug, to read just for reading's sake, to get your physical, mental, and especially your spiritual batteries recharged. If you run and run and run and you never have rest and relaxation, it is very, very difficult for you to live in the present. You've all heard this story that yesterday is a history. Can't go back and change it. Tomorrow's a mystery. Not any one of us have any idea of exactly what the future holds for us. Today is a gift that's been given to every one of us. We are here. And you know, that's why they call it the present. It's a gift. Today is all we have. So don't live today in your past and don't live today totally in the future. If you live today as today, you are preparing a brighter and better future. So let's practice this week being present. Why don't you practice smiling? And if you have some hurts you need to let go and forgive, it'd be a good time to do that. Maybe this next coming weekend, you could take some time to declutter your office, declutter your home, your closets, and so on. Really become a believer in single tasking, and I hope you have developed some morning and evening routines. Fall in love with journaling and writing down your thoughts. Learn, if it doesn't come naturally to you, as it does not for me, to really listen to people. Reduce the distractions in your life. Really get some habits and rituals that help you to stay focused. And it's okay to get away and to unplug and to unwind. And it's even okay periodically to do nothing at all. Jim Elliot said, wherever you are, be totally there. You've been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today that it's been a vitamin or a supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts from, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom and leave a rating and a brief written review? It will be so helpful. And this is Dr. Ron saying, leader, you are doing better than you think you are. And until next time, have a great and blessed day.